This is Gerald Ilvanovas. From all the videos that I have made so far, it should be clear that a lot of letters can easily be derived to positions in a spatial frame. These first 9 letters, for instance, very clear points of origin and where you can orientate themselves and associate things from there. So that's a kind of quite easy focus to find. A few other directions of where your focus should change itself, because things are changing there. For instance, okay, these are also another 9 positions that can be derived into our imagination, and we can make words with that. By all this description, now we have already 18 places which make it possible to describe already a lot of words. But of course, there are also some words that need much more orientation. Let's say we don't see them very well where they are, where do they move to, so we try to make up a balance somewhere so that we can still say, okay, here, yeah, okay, here it fits. So we have a kind of description. These are also 9 positions that, let's say, I describe them also as frames in which you have an idea where to find that position. And these letters that are there are 7 letters that fit quite well in that category. They're quite they're not so easy to use them when you want to have a real form, so that you have a form in the end which is clear, and I will try to make a couple of videos that will tell you how this works, and I'm still a little bit struggling with that, to have it really 100% perfect, but I think I have already enough to describe that, to understand its positions, to have a very good description, what they deal with, and so on. So let's see if the results are satisfying for you. I had already a few examples with the letter R. This video will be about the letter S, the region of how this region of S connects. And I'll have a lot of examples: BES, BOS, BOS with double S, the BES and the BUS. And I will even leave out the first extra letter that points us into a certain direction, and just only a vowel with its S should already do the trick and have and show us an orientation with which we can recognize certain objects, like S, OS and IS. Should be actually technically possible, when I understand the S very well, to present them also what they mean, what these words mean, because every word has a meaningful orientation of outbalanced points that we use as letters, and the combinations of these letters, they describe always the words that they should describe, and the conditions also. Why is this last letter in the system actually so difficult? It's all at the end of this whole structure of balancing out letters, and the S is really at the end. It's really at the end. It's the last effect. It's the last end effect, actually, at the borders where it is. And it depends actually how well structured you build up something. So what you make from it, what is made from it during the process. And then in the end, you will get an end effect also that tries to balance it out, and it will have also an effect innerly. And this we will find out with a few examples of words that make it visible. And of course, with the letter B, I already have that expressed more often. B makes it stronger, makes the end effect stronger. It's that end effect physically which goes to the borders. It will make that even stronger. So I will use a few words with B so that it will be very visible, so that it can be and show itself how it can be itself. Let's see how we will have a couple of words with B and S at the end. The difficulty is that the end effect of the S will be at the borders. It will have variations, and it will even have an effect innerly as well, all from the borders onwards, as if you have that kind of an S form in between and a very outer range there. I don't know what kind of formula you should use for it, but I know that it works like that for several reasons, but that is more or less what I have, and that's what I'm going to use also in combination with other letters and show it, and also show these combinations there and see if that indeed works like this in the practical way, if I do that quite technically. So the influences, the backing, the feedback influences will have an influence on the inner movements as well, depending on what, of course, what effect we will give of other letters in between before the S is met at the end, of course. And we will use the B in combination with O and with E. So we will start with E. The difference between O and E, they are both about growth process, about timing. So it's about two focus. We use two focuses, beginning and ending. With the O, we just follow it up the whole time. With the A, no, we follow it up during a time and see that we have that highlight out of it, so that we say, okay, it is about this. It is about this kind of timing process from start to a finalized product. So that's the way how you have the E. It's about that timing process itself, actually, where you go to somewhere else. Do a change, for instance, like you have it in E. O is ongoing, so it starts a process, and wherever that goes, it will have also its stages where it will go to. But with E, it's really directed to a highlighting moment where you have something, or where you don't have something. Here you will go, of course, where we have something. We have that moment where we will take something out. So the BES is then the combination of B, E and S. So how do we translate that? The vibrations underneath it can have also, of course, these variations. So it is, can be in the beginning, or it's halfway through, 2/3 or 3/3, or here 2/3 at the end effect you have there as well. So they have some variations of vibrations at the ending. What is the ending? Depending on what you focus upon. If we focus upon the second part within that, so of course that will be, that last circle will be the outer edge, and there will be also the B still present. The B pressure will be framed and repeated because the letters they have they will repeat themselves slightly within the next frame of the next letter, especially when we have the last category. It's about framing, so we use a frame and we use the same elements again to see how does this frame exist into the combined category. So we have the B into A, and then from A into this frame where the B is repeated, and we see what the B does to this frame combined with S. We have the BE. BE is BES, which is a word for berry, actually, and of course it will have that last influence from between. If we connect the dots there, it will just show an inner movement, not much more than that. You can have a few variations with vectors if you can derive them, but it's actually more like indeed the berry form where in between there are some variations of its content, let's say. Not much more than that, but it fits with berry, very vaguely, very superficially in a way. But okay, so far it fits. Let's see if the letter will fit with other combinations. We will have BOS, which is a Dutch word which means forest. With just one S, it means forest. So there, the B will be there. O is the whole range, so we'll need the whole range of this area. So we have that full range that we can see, and then in between the variations where the B is still there as well. It will have these variations of B opening up over a whole area, and in a way, I have of course this spreading of your focus at the edges, and it's spreading into less easy to measure ending. Last couple of letters are also about how we lose a little bit our focus. We lose it into these outer borders, where still we have these breaching borders actually the whole time over a certain area. So it is very well describing the forest. Different with the double S, we have done, of course, we focus again with the B still repeated on and the O also repeated as a frame in that last S. And what do we have? We have something that quite fits the repetition of orders, where we focus at the end on the last focus, which is the main focus of the BOS with the double S, of course, which will also have that feedback process from the start, spreading again with the other S to the next level, and the breaching of borders is then actually useful in an other way how you associate it. The pattern is useful actually, and that's how the BOS can be understood as a frame as a frame of structure and the content which fits to that. BOS, I thought, okay, the U is in the B is emphasizing on the process of forming itself, the process in which you can still fill in. What shall I fill in the making breaching of material is unclear, but I'll put it into that big frame, and in this big frame also you have different areas which says, okay, where shall I put it in? Shall I put something in or not? What is my choice? You have this open choice in the letter U of something which is forming over a while. You don't need to fill it in, but it's that half open question in the letter U which is spreading here in this bu further. And B or bus or bus is when I take an object and see how the bus looks like, and the filling in places, I can understand how it also still already fits into that area. So you have a container, again, the outer container in which the parts can be filled in and can be breached to be filled in as well, so that you can say, okay, let's do that, let's fill it in, let's fill that in, is the content of the letters and the letter combination. So yes, it still fits. Okay, let's find out for the other letters. Without the B now, so let's just say that we have S and is, which exist, and as is a Dutch word again, which means axe, but it also means ashes. When I have that, I have this one focus, okay, everything goes to this one focus, and all the vibrations, okay, that has a feedback, go back to that one focus. Everything is reduced to that middle point where I start from, for whatever effect that I will have at the ending. it will all be reduced to that middle point, and that fits to the X itself, because all will be reduced to the orientation around that point, but also to ashes, where also all the dust will come down to be reduced to as little of elements as possible. So still as an orientation, it can be used for it. Yes, why not? Os or ox is again this O gives you a full range area of O, not without the B, so it will not be with this form that will try to breach everywhere. No, it's only just the S into this area that is breached in O. O is also about an area that is breached and will go to somewhere. It will go to somewhere outside the area. Starts from a middle point and goes to somewhere. It's like the horns a little bit into that, and the O is also that breach, still a little bit breaching up, but over a full area. It fits. I have a bit difficulties in describing it right now, but it is also still a fit well enough actually than it is an ox in English, so it's the same, almost the same word. S is a tree, and yeah, here I don't have much. I just have this ending, and everything has to be focused around that ending, where things can the influences there, yeah, they grow from there, out of a growth process, up. So yes, vaguely it could eventually, it's not with the proof, but it could eventually fit in there. Is that gradual fitting an application somewhere, so we have this growing process where it can all fit, this in-between zone where it comes back to you as a feedback process. It's that's where you say, okay, in all these stages of being, it is always there. It's there the whole time, sometimes less, sometimes growing, sometimes in its full force, but it's always present. It is and can be in that expression. It can be well expressed if you want it to be present in it. It is very easy to recognize it once you understand also the positions of the letters, and you say, okay, what is really being expressed here? It's that application from that finds its frame, and the S is that full frame. So within that full frame where it is growing to find its way in, it's there the whole time, of course, in a way like that. It's still quite a bit vague sometimes, so these last letters are also about vague perceptions and reception of reality. So I hope it was clear enough that it also made it clear enough that these letters fit to what they should express. I'm not the best person now at this point in my life to express the letter S perfectly, but it gives you an idea where it is from the borders and with an effect inwardly, and it has an influence from the letters from before. So these letters from before, they are reflected in it, and this basis of reflection of a frame that fits in there and the balance within that frame makes a sort of end reflection that should match actually the words that are expressed in there, and the words, I mean the words as reflections of what they should reflect and express in them. Okay, hope that was clear enough. This was Gerald for was again. So website, books, Facebook page, and subscribe if you like. Thank you. Thanks again. Bye.